All right, welcome back to Module 2 of the Business Launch Game Plan. The topic today is going to be getting out of your own way. This is a super important module because a lot of us struggle with this. Raise your hand if you've ever asked yourself, do I really have what it takes to do this? Or self, I know how to get through steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, but I have no idea how to get through step 5. So I guess that means I can't get started. Have you ever said that to yourself? I have. When I was starting my business, I tended to get in my own way quite a bit. And really that stopped me from starting my own business all the way from 2007 when I graduated college. I wanted to start something, even if it was just on the side. I didn't get started with anything until the end of 2011. So really, I wasted, 4 years, 4.5 years, because I got in my own way. That's why this is going to be a super important module. Let's do a quick recap of Module 1. So at this point, going through Module 1, you should have done some homework, and you should have decided on one area to move forward with. So that's really the challenge, is kind of doing that homework that is in Module 1. We had that personal inventory worksheet where we listed out those things that we're good at and also those things that we enjoy doing. And then we took that worksheet and we went and shared it with those people who we know and trust, whose feedback we actually want to listen to. Right? There's some people that we really don't want to listen to their feedback. They love to give it, but we really don't want to listen to it. But then there are those few people that we actually listen to their advice and their feedback. So the goal is here to take our information, what we think and believe about ourselves, and go kind of get that validated by those that know us well and that we trust, and really have them add to the list. Have them add to the list instead of critique it, because of course they could say, Craig, you really think you're good at this? That's funny. No, the real goal is here to get them to add to our list. So we have a more comprehensive list, because sometimes we don't see those things that we're good at. And the goal here, after all this is said and done, is to get one idea. Just decide. You might have a dozen ideas that you want to move forward with. I know I do. I have a dozen ideas up here in my head about business ideas I want to launch. But the point is here to pick one, because we won't get started. In fact, we'll get in our own way, which is the topic of today's module, if we don't pick just one idea. So this is super important. Take that sheet of all your ideas and just circle one. If you haven't gone through the steps in Module 1 to narrow this thing down, to get, to do the brainstorming and all this and pick on one idea, then definitely head back there. Don't skip that step. It's probably one of the most important steps in this course. So today's game plan, now that you've got your one idea decided on that you're going to get started with this time, that you're going to follow through with, now that you've got that, we are going to determine that you have what it takes. This is going to be about you and getting out of your own way. So we're going to make sure that you're confident in knowing that you can do this. And we're also going to decide that, hey, it's not time to start this in 6 months. We're not going to put this off for 4 more years once you have a couple of years worth of living expenses saved, or once you have this business experience, or once you become the vice president. No, we're not going to wait till then. We're going to decide that there's no better time to get started than now. And third, we're going to focus on the fact that you don't have to know all the answers. You don't need all the answers. And that's something that definitely resonated with me. I didn't know that step 4 out of 6 steps. Therefore, it stopped me from getting started. So you don't have to have all the answers. So guys, it's time to determine that you do have what it takes. So any of those doubts that you might have in your mind about, can I really start a business? Can I really make it? Can I really do this? The answer's yes. You guys are taking this course. You're super smart. In fact, you're connecting with people of like mind. You found Create My Independence. You might be thinking independence. I want to create an independence. I want to build a business. You're out there seeking wisdom. You're out there seeing what other people have done. You're paying for it. It puts you very far ahead of everybody else. So you're the kind of person that does have what it takes. If you're willing to invest in yourself, you're willing to stick it out and follow through with things. You decided on your one idea that you're going to stick with, then you have what it takes. So here's a little resource for you. Download the Your Accomplishments worksheet. Got a link to it here below the video. And go ahead and open that up. That's going to be an Excel spreadsheet again if you want to open it up in Excel or the Mac equivalent. Or if you don't have those pieces of software, just go ahead and email this to yourself. If you got a Gmail account, you'll be able to open it up in Gmail. So in the first column, the column on the left side, here's what I want you to do. List at least 10 things that you've accomplished in your life that you are super duper proud of. Okay? Now in the second column to the right of that, I want you to list each one of those, each one that's in the first column, that you doubted. At one point or another, you doubted that you could accomplish it before you accomplished it. So pretty crazy, huh? I want you to list those things that you've really kicked some serious butt at. You look back and you say, wow, I can't believe I did that. That's so awesome. I'm proud of that. And then in the second one, list what you doubted. Which ones of those you doubted. So the next one here, what I want you to do is just look at my list. Okay, my list is right here. If you want to kind of cheat and say, okay, what does Craig have on his list? Most proud accomplishments that I've accomplished. Getting a 4.0 semester in college. Okay, that might not look like a big accomplishment to you, but I was a C student. In fact, I was less than a C student in high school. I had a cumulative GPA, which means my average GPA throughout my entire high school years, those 4 years, was 1.9. And if you know anything about GPAs, that's less than a C. Okay, so I was less than a C student in high school. In fact, I barely even graduated high school. But now in college, there was a semester where I had straight A's, a 4.0 semester. I'm super proud of that. The second one, winning a math award in college. I was never good at math. In fact, I had C's in all my math classes, D's. And I mean, I was good at basic math, but I just didn't try. So therefore, I got terrible grades. So winning that math award was huge for me. Getting into a great business school, completing a bachelor's degree, huge accomplishment because at one point or another, my dad said, Craig, you're not going to make it to college. With those kind of grades, you're just not going to make it. You're not going to get into any college. You're not going to make it through. So I completed a bachelor's degree from a good business school. That was something I was proud of. Getting out of debt. At one point, I was almost $30,000 in debt. I got out of debt in my mid-20s, and I built a six-figure net worth. I started my own business. I'm super proud of that. And I earned a living this year from my business. Huge accomplishment. Which ones of those did I doubt that I was going to ever do? Getting a 4.0, I doubted that. Getting into the business school, I had huge doubts. Completing a bachelor's degree, as I said before, huge doubts. Didn't think I was going to make it through college. Building a six-figure net worth, I had no clue I'd be able to do that or anything close to that. Starting my own business, I always doubted that. And earning a living for my business, oh man, this last year, I doubted it quite a bit. And so remember, take a look at your list. Go through, your accomplishments. Feel good about yourself again. And then go through those ones that you doubted that you're going to accomplish. And remember that you doubted those things at one point too. If you doubted those things, then why? Then it's super normal that you could doubt this, but still be able to accomplish it. So it's time. Decide that now is the time to get started. And actually, the best time was yesterday to get started. But unfortunately, can't talk here. We can't go back in time. So the next best time, other than yesterday, the next best time is now, today. Businesses do take time to build. In many cases, years. So decide right now that you want to start now. You will start now because in a few years you want to have a business, right? Do you want to look back in a few years and say, shoot, I should have started back then when Craig told me to, but I didn't, and therefore I don't have a business now? Or do you want to say, I'm glad I started back then because now I have a business? So decide right now. If you're anything like me, you want to have all the answers. But know that you don't need all the answers to get started. Take it from me, because I've lived it. Thinking you need all the answers will stop you from starting. So don't make the mistake of not doing anything. Don't make the mistake of not getting started today because you feel like you need to have all the answers. You don't need all the answers. All right, red flag alert. Holding yourself back. Don't let the fear of the unknown or self-doubt hold you back from getting started. Get fired up today. Take a look at those accomplishments again and think about how you didn't think you were going to be able to do those either. You might have gotten your own way of doing those, but you did them. You accomplished them. That's huge. That means you have what it takes to do this. So get fired up today and make today the day that you start making things happen. Don't hold yourself back. Make up your mind, okay, guys? Make up your mind that you can do this. Coming up next in Module 3, once you've made up your mind and you're decided, don't move on, by the way, until you've decided that you have what it takes to do this. Next module, we're going to be talking about creating your website. Easy as that. So I'll see you guys over in Module number 3.